All right, so public health specialist Dr. Avastan Bailey is urging the Ministry of Health and Wellness to proceed with caution as a recent lifting of some COVID-19 restrictions could prove to be premature. And Doctor joins us now to talk to us about this situation. Morning, Dr. Bailey. Happy
Morning,
Easter.
sir.
Good to see you.
Morning, sir.
Hope all is well.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope that the morning finds you both well.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
sir.
So you think the lifting of certain mandates is premature? Talk us through, Doc, please.
Okay. Every action that we take in life must be informed by reality, both locally and internationally. And we have made our decisions in Jamaica primarily based on local data, which has shown a very low positivity rate of less than 5% for many weeks now. This indicates that we basically have very low community spread of the virus. Our hospitalization rate is also very low. And as at April 16, only 19 persons were in hospital, and there were no critically ill and severely ill patients. In my opinion, this has lulled us into a false sense of security. And I would like to use this opportunity to remind all Jamaicans that the COVID pandemic is not over. And I'll use a minute or two to explain to you why. The COVID virus is evolving. We now have 5 strains. Let me repeat. We have 5 strains of COVID. BA1, BA2, XC, BA2.12, and BA2.121. And every new strain appears to be more transmissible than the previous. And as of April 13, New York is now experiencing a major surge of the 2 new subvariants of COVID. We are seeing new surges appearing in our North American neighbors and Europe and China. As of April 14, coronavirus spread is now starting again in the United States. Nearly half of all European countries have recorded increases in new corona cases. Finland 84, Switzerland 45, United Kingdom 31, Austria, Belgium, etc. Double-digit percentages increases in their weekly tallies. Interestingly, China is now facing its highest infection rate since 2020. On Sunday, April 10, China recorded the most cases that have ever been recorded in a single day. But the most important issue I want to bring to the attention of the listeners and the viewers is that Jamaicans are under-vaccinated. Only 26% of the population is fully vaccinated. Only 17% of those who are 60 are fully vaccinated. And only 25% of our children are vaccinated. Therefore, we are very vulnerable. We cannot compare ourselves with the USA with a vaccination rate of 66%, the UK, 86%, Canada, 81%, China, 80%. And therefore, it means that we are very vulnerable. And finally, Jamaica has a very high burden of non-communicable diseases. We have a high burden of hypertension and diabetes. I don't think a lot of persons are aware of this, but 6 out of every 10 COVID deaths in Jamaica had heart-related disease, and 4 out of every 10 had diabetes. And with a large population of hypertensives and diabetics, we must exercise caution and recognize that the pandemic is definitely not over.
Doc, let me play the devil's advocate. What do you mean when you say exercise caution? Because by using your own words, positivity rate down, not a lot of people in hospital, we are getting much better. So what does caution mean? Should we not open up anything at all? Should we not allow people to come in unless they're tested? Should we keep on the masks right through? What do you mean exactly when you say caution? And I understand what you say. Don't get me wrong. I
understand.
I want you to be clear.
Clarify. I think at this point in time in the pandemic, the primary focus should be to protect the elderly and the vulnerables. I actually believe that we should create what I have described as a virtual firewall between the healthy and the vulnerable. Therefore, when I refer to caution, I'm primarily thinking of the elderly and those with comorbidities, especially diabetes. I'm suggesting that masks must be worn when we visit our elderly relatives, that they must be encouraged to stay at home and wear masks when they go outdoors and interact with the public. I'm recommending that we cannot accept a vaccination rate of 17% among the elderly. All citizens with comorbidity must be told that they're at risk and they must get vaccinated. It's important for us to realize that even though we recognize the need to open the economy, we have to protect the vulnerables and we have to ensure that all those with comorbidities and all those who are elderly are protected.
So-
At this point in time, we can live with the virus, but at the same time, minimize the effect it has on our vulnerables.
So, Doc, do you think it's an eventuality, given the rates that are now going up in the parts of the world that you mentioned, that our rates will start to go up again?
I have no doubt in my mind. Based on what I've seen happening in UK and Europe and in China, and please be reminded that the reason why you had such a significant surge of COVID in Hong Kong was because most of the elderly were isolated from the initial surges. And when they opened up, they became very vulnerable because they were not vaccinated. Therefore, I think based on the fact that we now have 5 Omicron variants, that we can look out for their arrival in Jamaica very soon, and we might in fact be heading for a 5th surge. But this will primarily affect the unvaccinated and the elderly, and therefore we have an opportunity now to put system in place to ramp up vaccination, especially for the elderly, and also we need to ensure that mask wearing in the presence of the elderly is encouraged and that the elderly, if at all possible, should stay at home.
Yep. Dr. Al, every now and again you hear this variant and the vaccine can manage that one and ray. Of all these variants that you just named them all, the vaccines that we have are good for all of those? Or we have to get booster shots and all kinds of stuff?
Yes, I like to think of the vaccines as being similar to a bulletproof vest. It protects you from hospitalization and death. The vaccines still work with all the variants. There might be breakthrough infection, but what they found across the world, that when persons are vaccinated and they get breakthrough infections, it is very mild. Those that are developing severe infection and those that are dying are those that are unvaccinated. So vaccination does protect you from severe illness and death.
And should we get a booster? Like if you had your 2 shots, is it important, necessary that you get a booster shot?
Or some folks are saying 2 boosters.
Yeah. It has been shown,
It has
sir?
been shown
Yep.
that boosters do ramp up your immune system. And in some countries, they have now started to give 4 boosters. So the recommendation is that if you get a booster, you will be offered even more protection than just with 2 doses.
Good to see you, sir. Hope you've been having a great Easter weekend. And as always, thanks for speaking with us this morning. God bless you, sir.
Thanks very much for having me.
It's our pleasure, sir. There you go, Dr. Alvaston Bailey, public health specialist, with us this morning. All right, soon come. Stay with us, please.